everyone from Frederick, Maryland. Welcome to the Mindset Bitches. All right, I hope everyone is well. We are Pam, Margaret. Welcome. Thanks for listening. So today our episode is about me, interviewing me. But prior to do that, we have two questions from one person.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you very much. And then we have comments. I'll do that after the questions. And the first question, well, I need notes. The first question, well, two questions from one person, and her name is Catherine. Her question number one is, how would you rate your happiness on a scale of 10? Me, I'm going first. Right now, I do have a death in the family, so I can't say I'm a number 10. But I would say number 8 for me, even though I have a death in the family, but I still motivate myself every day. Everyone will die one day. And so after my mom's death experienced, I have learned a lot. So I will not let that ruin my day. Mm-hmm. And so number 8, maybe number 9, depends. But every time I see her, number 10 go up, and then now number 9. So that's my rating.
So now it's my turn, and I have to say I'm a 10. I've never been any more happy than I am in my life, and that's because I have done the work to get to where I'm at. And I understand that even though every day might not be the greatest, there's something great in every day. And that, some days I might not be as happy, but I don't let that take away my joy. Mm-hmm. And so I just really try to find purpose in every day. And that's why I'm a 10. People are like, oh my gosh, you just always act like you're so upbeat. And mm-hmm. It just, I know what I've come through, and I know the person I've become, and I'm just happy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much every day, I would think. More like the number 9.5 and 10. Mm-hmm. Everyone asks me, is like, why are you always smiling? Well, why not?
Exactly. Because
that boosts up your, motivation and happiness. What is that called in your system? I don't even know.
Yeah, that endorphins and that sort of thing.
And so that moves your day, the best way. So why you have to frown and sad? There are things in life will make you sad, will make you disappoint, mm-hmm. but it will goes on. So I don't think sadness will take over in me. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit, but then I learn my way to cope it mm-hmm. and turn it around. I always smile.
Yeah. I always laugh.
I do that. I do that in the mirror sometimes.
Yes.
And that really helped. I'm not sure if any of you have read The Mirror Works from Dr. Louise Hay. I read that, and that helped me a lot. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when I'm down, sometimes I don't understand why I'm down. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I just go in the mirror and I said, Margaret, come on, let's go. You can do this.
That's right.
Smile. And then your face like, ooh.
Yeah.
And you smile.
Yes, I think that answers the second question. When she, if you're below a 4, what do you do to get your mindset to a 10? And I think we all have the things that we do. I know one thing I enjoy is, I love doing Pilates. It kind of gets my body and my mind together. And, so I go find, exercise or something like that to just kind of get your mind off of whatever's making you sad. For me, it was just reading, making personal growth a priority. Like Margaret said, get in front of that mirror and talking to yourself. I mean, there's days that I'm like, you are worthy. You are enough. You got this. You are not going to let this little circumstance control how happy you are today. You actually just talk to yourself, have a conversation mm-hmm. with yourself. Mm-hmm. And you know, people might think you're crazy, so go do it by yourself in your own
in the mirror,
bathroom.
in a bathroom somewhere, in your bedroom.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
anyway, you know, some people find prayer or meditation, you know, whatever your thing is there. But it's just finding that coping mechanism that you personally have that will snap you back into, you know, your happiness or feeling better about what's going on.
There you go. I hope those answer from us will help Catherine. Thank you, Catherine,
thank
for
you,
your
Catherine.
question.
Yes.
And then of course, we need more questions. This is the first start. So bring it on. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. And then now we have comments from 3 people. Thank you very much.
You.
We love it to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
One question from Brian. He said, I am not cool with women using the word bitches to describe themselves. You're turned off with the word bitches. It loses integrity of the bat. So if you can change to, for example, mindset pro, mindset girls, mindset powers, mindset woman, that will be a better off name. Say, okay. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
We'll take that. And then the second comment we have is from Suzanne. I am not offended by the word bitches. For me, it's the intention behind the word. I wish you the best and know you'll make the right decision. Thank you very much, Suzanne. Thank you. And then the last but not least from Stephanie. I like the name bitches. Describe 2 cool, badass chicks. However, their artwork definitely needs to be changed because it's too soft and gentle.
Yeah.
If you're the bitches, then you need an artwork to be brash, bold, and in your face.
Thank you, Stephanie. So the way that I would answer this is we wanted something strong to describe ourselves because we have both been through so much to get to the people we are. And let me tell you, we had to be bitches to our mind. You know, we had to, there's that person in there that wanted to take over, that person that we were in the past that we were trying to change to become the people that we are. And that, you know, the strong bitch over here had to like take care of this bitch over here on a daily basis to get to where we are. That was why we really chose the word bitches. But we don't want to, you know, we obviously don't want anybody to be turned off right off the bat just by the name that we chose for ourselves. If anyone has any suggestions that of something really strong and catchy that, you know, would really describe 2 women that really have fought to get to heal their mindset and become the people that we are, we would love your input. You know, please feel free to share some more. I'm not sure. I mean, I appreciate, Brian, the things that you suggested. I'm just not sure they're strong enough for what we want, but we would definitely welcome anybody's suggestions. So please comment. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so now back to me.
Now it's Margaret. Now we get to learn more about Margaret. Last week it was me. This week it's Margaret because we want to know why Margaret does what she does and why she's become such a strong woman. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, about myself. I have to go back from the beginning a little bit, so you all know my background a little bit, where I came from and how I become I am today. So I was born during the Vietnam War, and I spent my early childhood in Vietnam, but as a mixed race outcast. The reason I said that because even though I don't have blue eyes, I don't have blonde hair, but I do have Caucasian eyes and nose. That's what, of course, with freckles. And so the Vietnamese people call me the half-breed. Okay, so through my adolescence, I was in fear every day of being called names, being made fun of, and especially bullied and beat me up every single day, like I said, from home to school, from school to home. So I always have to run and hide, find a way to get home, because otherwise I'll get beaten. So I didn't understand why it was happening to me like that. But thank goodness, in 1985, my adoptive mother and I came to America. And even though we didn't speak a word of English. But growing up in America had given me an opportunity to have education, many friends, wonderful friends. And then after graduating high school, I joined the military, the Army military, for a year. And then I got introduced into the beauty business, which nail artists. Yeah.
Yeah, hers are prettier than mine today, even though she did mine.
I've been in the business for 25 years. Had traveled many states from West Coast to the East Coast. And now I'm settled here in Frederick and married to my husband of 19 years. I have a daughter of 17, and then the boy 15. And of course, 4 furry babies.
The furry babies.
Can't miss them out. And so in 2012, my mom was sick and she passed away because she's the only one that I have. So when she passed away, my whole world turned upside down. Sure. I lost control. I didn't know what to do. And so I turned my family into a living hell. And then I imprisoned myself in this home. This is my home here. It's not a home. It wasn't a home. It was a prison cell for me. And with the grief, the sorrow, it just made me lose my mind. And I even thought of killing myself. I just want to go with my mom, join with my mom. Why do I want to live? But thank goodness I didn't.
That's right.
Oh my goodness, thank goodness I did. And so, but for 4 years, life and family were extremely difficult. So like after 4 years, I finally found coaches and helped me to pass through the depression. And that's when I realized I need to make a new me, to create a new me, create a new path of life ahead of me. And so that's when I started to write a book called The Actions. And the word actions is each letter in the word action is a step to help people to pass through grief, depression. And that's how I started.
I love the way you said that. Pass through depression. For anybody to heal their mindset, you have to go through what you're dealing with. There's no way around it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. You got to go through it. And you have to allow yourself to feel all the emotions and all the sadness. And, you know, there would be days that I would just sit and cry. I actually, you know, would write a letter to my younger self, you know, forgiving myself for everything that I believed back then that got me to the point of just having a unhealthy mindset. And then I was able to put that to rest and then start going through what I needed to get through. So that's a great point. I mean, you have to go through it. You have to. We try to avoid it. We try to medicate. We try to whatever to avoid those feelings, but we can't. We have to go through it and allow ourselves to feel.
It was overwhelming.
Yes.
But you have to go through it.
You do.
Otherwise, you just compress it.
Exactly.
And it will rise up again.
Yes, because as soon as something else comes into your life that's devastating or whatever, you'll go right back because you haven't healed what was causing you to feel that way. So you definitely have to go through it. So tell us more about your book. How long ago did you write that?
I wrote that book. Well, it took me a whole year to write that book. I had, what is that called? Writer's block?
Yeah.
And then I procrastinated. And then, of course, there's someone dearly to me also mentioned to me that, who's going to read your book? See, that's something from another person giving you the opinion. Who's going to read your book? And I took that personally. I was like, okay, who's going to read my book? I don't think, you know. But then I have a coach And she said, you've been through what you've been,
That's right.
and there are other people out there in the same feet as you. And some of them don't know how to get out. You got out. Thank goodness. Why not write it? So those people who didn't know how to get out, be able to find your book and read about it. Maybe you can help them. And so it took me, like I said, it took me a whole year to write it. And then I finally published it in May, I believe, I forgot the date now, but in May 2017. Yeah. So it's on Amazon now.
I was going to say, how can we get that book?
Yes, it's on Amazon. Search for The Actions by Margaret Tran. And it's Kindle and then physical book as well.
That's awesome. I love too what Margaret said about, her coach saying, well, Margaret had the mindset, who's going to read my book? Seriously. You know what other people think of you is none of your business. So if you've got a dream, if you've got something that you think can help somebody else, don't let what you think other people might think or say affect you. Because if you do, that will always hold you back. Always. Yeah. I mean, you have to just believe in yourself and do what you want to do, because our story will help someone else. And I'm glad that your coach suggested that you write a book, because if we go through things, and sometimes it's not even for us, it's for somebody else that's going to go through something similar. And if we made it through, then we can help other people do the same thing. And that's exactly why Margaret and I started this podcast, because both of us made it through, and we want to share our stories and help other people do the same thing. So I'm so glad you wrote that book.
I mean, every family, I do feel this. Every family has an issue.
Sure.
Either relationship, work, job, death. Every family has a problem. And I know we can't solve all, but the mindset can heal, can help with any situation.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, none of us are immune from trouble. I mean, we all have it. And we're all going to be faced with that. So, if we don't have the correct mindset to get through it, it will always set us back.
And so it's I can't say it's funny, but a lot of people that I interact with, 90% they have negative.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Comments, ideas. They always negate you. So if you're around them, at the minute they tell you, like someone told me, "Who's gonna read your book?" And that's popping right in my mind. Okay, I questioned myself right away.
Sure, yeah.
I doubted myself. Okay, am I good enough to write a book? Is my book good enough for people to read? Would that be able to help anyone? All those questions will pop in your mind.
Sure.
So if you don't have that strong mindset, you forget it. That book will never be published.
Isn't it funny how somebody could tell us 10 great things, but they'll say one negative, and the negative is the one that we'll put in the forefront of our minds.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that funny? That's why we shouldn't really listen to somebody else's opinion, because it's going to mess with our mind, and the 10 good things that somebody said are going to be totally erased by one bad comment. Those are the things that you've got to heal up here so that they don't stay there. You have to learn how to get rid of them and not care. And that's a process too, just to get to that point.
Oh, yes.
So what advice would you give or tips for people struggling with grief and depression and just unhappiness in their life?
I know one thing I went through was that when I was in depression and grief, I had no one to talk to. And you definitely, this is my advice, is to find someone safe to talk to.
Absolutely.
If you don't talk to, you always hold it inside you, and that will explode. And that's why I said earlier, I thought of committing suicide, because I thought that was a release, but it wasn't. And so always find someone that you feel that person is safe to talk to. Please do come and talk to them. There are hotlines that you can call. They will help you. Your close friends, Your family, you need to share with families. I didn't share with my family. They didn't know what's going on. But then,
Absolutely.
I came home always bickering, arguing. And then, so find someone to talk to. Second is, if you can't find someone close to you, go join a group. Group depression group, or any group at all that you come out and be active. You can't mope around in your home like I did.
Yeah.
So go outside, find somebody, go join a group, share your opinions, share whatever. Talk to them. That's one thing that I suggest, or two things that I suggest. And find a coach, find counselor, find therapy. They sure can help you.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't share or don't ask, no one will know to help you. And that's very important. Because a lot of time you don't know how to cope, how to heal yourself. A coach, a therapy, or a counselor be able to help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I call it my tribe.
Your tribe.
Make sure to find your tribe, because people, sometimes a lot of mine were just friends that I was able to confide in, and and I had to be able to trust them, because honestly, some people you confide in may not be for you, so you have to really find the people that you can trust. And I'm mindful too that a lot of people that are going through very serious clinical depression really do need the help of a counselor or a doctor or something like that to really get you through it. I don't think that we're so naive to think that everybody can just snap their mindset and be right on their way. There are things that if you're severely depressed, to the point of suicide, like Margaret was, you do need to seek out, a doctor or somebody that can help you. Because it's going to be hard to heal your mindset by yourself.
And another thing that I have learned, that, like you, my friend, if you see something wrong with me, that I'm not normal, please ask, are you okay?
Right.
You need help? I'm here to help you. Or, just talk to me. You don't have to answer back. Just talk to me. Okay? And then if you feel that person, you can feel
absolutely
that person is so to the point that they want to kill themselves. Ask them. Don't think that, if I ask that person, he gonna go kill himself, or she gonna kill herself. No, maybe there are signs that they want to tell you, which you don't pay attention. So ask. Do you think of killing yourself? Do you think of committing suicide? They will tell you no. They will tell you yes. They will tell you.
Yeah.
But if you don't ask, they will do it.
Yeah, sometimes we're so scared to ask people questions because we think that they don't want us to be in their business and stuff like that. But if you, know somebody, like she said, that, seriously seems to have some problems, friend that person and really get to ask them those difficult questions, because sometimes people are just hesitant to let people know how they really feel because they think they're going to be, shut out or not cared about. And honestly, people just want to know people care. People just want to know that. And so many times people will ask, well, how are you, Margaret? And Margaret's like, I'm okay.
Oh, they hide.
And it's like, Margaret's like, okay. Well, I asked her, she said she's okay. But, if you're friends with Margaret and she's not okay, you need to make sure you love on Margaret really hard, because Margaret needs help, So, if you're fighting something, don't be afraid to find that person you can trust and confide in them. Because it's just so amazing how when you find your tribe, how that really helps you to get through those difficult times.
Yes,
it really does. So, wow, we said a lot today.
Well, thank you very much for being here with me again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's a little bit about myself. Hopefully, you can give us, like I said, we always looking for questions, comments, anything at all. So you have any questions about grief, depression, health, weight loss, anything at all, mindset, just give us a question, comments, whatever. We'll glad to answer you.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Again, if we cannot find the answer, then we cannot give you the answer. We'll find the answer for you.
Absolutely. So. And suggestions on our name. We're still going to be looking for those.
That, yeah.
So, you know, like I said, we want to be mindful of what people are thinking, and we thank you for the advice, and we will take everything to heart and figure it out. So,
all right.
Great.
Thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.